three of the best. He's made them pay, and that completes a wonderful hat-trick.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we continue our celebration of the Euros with a review for Goal. Goal tells the story of Santiago Munez, played by Kuno Becker. He is a young Mexican footballer who is looking for a football club to play for and chase his dream of being a professional footballer. He gets scouted and eventually gets a trial at a big British club. And there he has to face all of the real problems that a footballer goes through in their life. The story really is as rags to riches as you could possibly ask for. But if you're a sports fan or a football fan in general, I think you're going to love this movie, even despite its imperfections. So diving into the film, my first noticeable thing was actually a point against the film. They do make the cardinal sin of making Mexico yellow. I can't really just blame Goal. A lot of films in the early 2000s, 90s era, they did do that. If it was a hot desert area, it's going to be filmed through a yellow filter. But they do at least speak the language and use native actors. I kind of appreciate that, and it feels like there's a real genuine representation there. When Santi was very young, he and his family were immigrants and they fled into America through the border. And I do understand that this is a powerful scene to show, but I kind of find it funny because Santi drops his football and he genuinely has to consider whether he should go back for the football or continue to run. There'll be other footballs, kid. You gotta weigh these things up, son. Thankfully, he does make the right decision and he continues to run, eventually growing up to be a pretty good talent on the football pitch, despite only playing for a local league in Los Angeles. I feel like the camera work through the football scenes is really good. It has a shaky cam effect to it, but it isn't too over the top. It's just enough to make you feel like you're jogging or running, like you're on the pitch with the players. You can still focus on the ball and the skills and the moves that are taking place, but it does add this slight feel of action to it, which lifts the scene. The story then takes a leaf out of Cinderella's book, and the father proves to be nothing short of an absolute arsehole who does not support Santi's dream. Instead, his father would like Santi to continue to join him in the gardening business, and that relationship becomes the emotional crux of the movie. But I don't always think that it works to its full potential. I think a big problem is that they just make the father way too unlikable. He is unreasonable to the highest degree, and there's no reason for it. His son has a talent. Back him, support him, show him the way. He just seems to be bitter and unsupportive because it isn't him with the talent, and that just doesn't make him at all relatable or likable for the audience. It could also be viewed as lazy, manipulative writing because it's so heavy-handed to make the audience feel that way about the father and be so supportive of Santi as the main character. I don't dislike it, I just think it could have been done smoother, that's all. But back to the positives, I think the movie moves at a great pace. Everything I've just said prior all happens within the first 20-30 minutes of the movie. And I think the movie does a great job from transitioning from Mexico/America to Britain, Newcastle. Welcome to the tune. And that being said, I really enjoy the acclimatization that Santi has to go through when he arrives in Newcastle. He's shivering because it does nothing but rain up there. He can't understand a word anyone's saying. He doesn't understand any of the terminology and phrasing that they use up there either. So he is completely a fish out of water in this scenario. He is totally relying on his football ability to do the talking for him, to justify his place in this team, because everyone's just looking at him and thinking, you're hopeless, kid, you don't stand a chance. And with this movie using real footballers, real clubs, pretty convincing footage of matches as well, and the use of their stadiums, these are all just more points in favour of this movie, because somehow they managed to push to get that realism and get the licensing rights to use these things, and it just is well worth it for the film. And of course the fairy tale does all go to plan for Santi. Things work out very well for him at Newcastle, and things work out very well for the franchise with another 2 movies to follow. However, There is one plot hole with this film that has always got me, even when I was a kid. Several times from the fans' perspective, particularly of Santi's father and Santi's grandmother when they go to watch him play football on the television, they're still in Los Angeles and they're watching Newcastle versus Fulham on the television, surrounded by a bunch of Newcastle fans, including AC/DC's Brian Johnson. I have so many questions. A, the time difference? Surely a 3 o'clock kickoff in the UK is going to be like a 2 a.m. job in America. B, why are they covering Newcastle Fulham? That's not exactly the game to watch, really. No offence to Newcastle or Fulham, but it ain't box office. C, do Geordies live in Los Angeles? Like a congregation of them? Is that a thing? Do they just happen to be there on holiday? I'm very confused. Why are they there? I cannot wrap my head around that part of the film every time it comes up, and it sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't really know why it was done so sloppily. That being said, I love this movie. I'm a big football fan, and it does everything that I want it to do. It's enjoyable, it's feel good, it's even nostalgic seeing old kits and former players like Milan Baros playing for Liverpool. There's just a lot to love here. So I'm going to give Goal a 10 out of 10. The critic in me feels like I really should be giving it a 9 because of the few little problems I've picked out, but I don't want to be that arsehole. Ultimately, I really enjoy this film, and the things that it gets right massively outweigh the things that it gets wrong. Thanks for watching this review. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, be sure to leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think about the movie. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.